Hi, and welcome to Marshy's Inspired Studio. This is going to be a longer video. And before I get started, I just want to let you know I'm the author of 13 Interactive Challenges to Self-Discovery. You can find that link below. Also, make sure that you get your free poster. Okay. I, I recently took a holiday cruise. It was my 5th holiday cruise, and I took it with Norwegian, Viva, and I went with my boyfriend. So, there were two huge problems. Went over Christmas, and I need y'all to understand that ports do get missed due to unforeseen problems. In Costa Maya, we did not get to go. We got all the way there, and the pilot said, "Sorry, we're not accepting you," and we had to leave. We left and we went by Cozumel. Bye bye Cozumel. We went by Cancun. Bye bye Cancun. And it was Christmas Day. So many people were disappointed. I was disappointed in Norwegian because I have been on a ship before where there was a reason that we could not stop somewhere and we got redirected to somewhere else where we could have. There was time for it, but I did not see any effort being made for us to stop. Even if we had to go back to Cozumel, that would have been fine. Or if we had gone to Cancun, I may or may not have gotten off the ship. But the point is, it was Christmas Day. One of the stops, the last stop on this journey, I took the cruise for 4 stops. I ended up with only 3, and I had 3 sea days. Very disappointing. Know that you will not get any compensation. You most likely won't get an explanation. And you have to realize that that's a possibility. Okay? So, weather does happen, and you have to be prepared. So let's say it's forecasted to rain. You know, I've been in Alaska. You should always make sure that you have a rain poncho in Alaska. I was on the cruise and it rained in one of our ports. Wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do it. I was in West Bay and in Rotan, Honduras, and I was snorkeling and it started raining and I'm out there snorkeling. It was the weirdest sensation ever. Understand, just because it rains doesn't mean that your shore excursion is necessarily going to cancel. Now, I was out there on my own, but I knew that it was going to be a beach day, and I knew how the reef worked, and I knew that I could just go out there and snorkel. And I had my own snorkel gear. So it was the weirdest sensation. So on your back, it's cold, it's belting rain, and you're going, oh, this part is warm. And then you're looking at the fish and you're going, huh. And you see the raindrops and you're going, but it only goes maybe an inch or 2 into the water. And if you've ever wondered what happens to fish when it rains, they don't care. Because you're sitting there looking at them and they're not phased in the least. They're like, swim on. It was very fun. At least that worked. Because on the Viva, the experimental shower did not work. So it was very interesting to say the least. And then, of course, it stopped raining. And I was like, okay. And it didn't rain for very long. It rained, oh, I don't know, 5 minutes or whatever. And then I was getting a massage on the beach. It was doing great. And they had me under a little umbrella. And next thing you know, it started raining. Oh my goodness, that water was so cold. It was so cold. And none of us had any rain gear. All of our stuff got wet. The person I was with, our stuff just got soaked. Our towels got soaked. Everything got soaked. But it was lunchtime, and this beach day had lunch for us. Well, luckily they had a pavilion, and we went under there and we had lunch. And we're all barefooted, and when I mean all of us, I mean like the 100 of us that are there. We're just making the best of the situation. And of course, it stopped raining, and it all worked out. But understand, the rain happens on these shore excursions, and sometimes you miss your port because of the weather. Now, I'm not sure, excuse me, what happened in Costa Maya, because our captain went all the way through the buoys and got there, and they said, sorry, you can't be here. And it's like, what? And we had to leave. There was no choice. We had to go back. Um, it happens. It does happen. The weather happens. You have to be prepared. We were in Belize, and the weather was rainy at the first part of the day. I didn't know if my shore excursion was going to happen. I was parasailing, and that was at 10:30, but we got there about 7:30 in the morning, and it was raining. And I mean, water everywhere. And I thought, I don't know, man. I don't know. I kept saying, "Hey, man, just cancel." And they're like, "No, we won't know until 5 minutes after your shore excursion time. And if it's lightning, we'll cancel." Sure, it worked. It worked out. The sun never quite came out during the parasailing, but then within that hour, the sun started coming out. We hung out at the pool. We had a great time. We swam in the ocean. I played in the water puddles, the mud puddles. I had a great time. I had a great time. At first, it was raining, but then it's ended up stopping. I need you to understand that the rain does impact, the weather impacts your shore excursions, and you have to be prepared. Now, luckily, I had my poncho, and I was wearing my poncho, and it did. It rained on us in Belize. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going parasailing. I went parasailing. Just know that it can happen, right? But sometimes those end up being the most beautiful days and the most memorable. It's your attitude of how you um, deal with the disappointment. You can either get bitter about it, angry about it, or you can try and make lemonade out of it and make the best of it. So, most times they try to redirect the cruise if they've missed a port, if they can. Understand it was Christmas Day. There were lots of ships out and about, and we didn't get to stop. We didn't get compensated for it. We just had an extra day at sea and said, make do with what we've got to offer on the ship. Did they do anything extra or special for us? Nope. That was just the way it was on Christmas Day in 2025 on the Vietza. Have you ever gotten caught in the rain? Put it in the comments below. Show me a heart, show me a like, give me a thumbs up, do something. Okay.